It's the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast coming to you live on Double C TV, featuring Darren.
Oh god, we're doomed.
And Double C. Wrestling gets you laid. Gotcha. As they take on 5 hours of WWE programming.
I'm pretty sure he fudged it just while he was doing the Hurricane Run. Like, oh god, I don't know how to do this correctly.
Yes. This is another live show. This is our 3rd live show. I'm going to keep track of these things.
Sooner or later, we're going to actually get this right.
Yes. Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better. I've learned a lot doing all this streaming stuff on the show and doing other things too. Getting the hang of it.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm participating as well. But sadly, this is going to be a rough night for me.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, let's get started here. We got a Raw and a Smackdown to take care of. We got Smackdown from the 15th. It's the 15th already. Or it was the 15th. On Friday.
Time passes too much.
Yes. Of March. And then Monday Night Raw of the 18th of March. Okay, so let's start off with SmackDown, of course. SmackDown starts off with a match. It starts off with Sheamus and Randy Orton versus the Rhodes Scholars. This is a rematch from Monday.
From last Monday?
Yeah, from last Monday, because they were interrupted, I think. I don't know, it's a blur.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. They say, the Rhodes Scholars get on the mic, they say that they're not very happy about Monday. That they had to wrestle twice, and they didn't get to score with the Bella Twins. Which...
My happiness is knowing that... Wait, there is no happiness. The Bella Twins are involved.
Yeah.
So there's nothing happy for me right now.
Right. But I think I figured out why the Bella Twins have gotten their jobs back.
How's that?
They got boob jobs. Their mammary glands have increased in size.
WWE, a progressive show.
Yeah.
And trust me, it gets worse from here, folks.
Mm-hmm. So, here's how the match turns out. Sheamus gets beat up. Omega Orton takes over. Faces win.
Okay, so we go from... Pretty much we go from the Worf effect to the Wolverine effect.
Basically. Yeah. Nothing too interesting comes out of this, except for what happens right afterwards. The Shield comes out. We're going to be saying that a lot. However, they don't come out to the ring. They are backstage. And,
have they got a tripod finally?
It looks like. However, they zoom in all the way. It's like...
What, is it up to their mouths?
Almost. It's like they're eating the camera. I mean, if it was a flip camera, you could actually look inside their mouths and then see if they had tonsillitis at one point.
I'm pretty sure. But goddamn, enough with this stupid camera work. This just irks me as a videographer.
I know. Same here. I mean, I know it's amateur, but you're also professionals.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a professional business where you're getting paid thousands of dollars to do your job. And you can't do a basic scene where the camera is not being eaten by somebody's mouth.
Yeah. But I digress.
Feels like I'm watching Les Miserables again.
So they formally challenge Sheamus and Orton at WrestleMania as long as they get a partner, because they're undefeatable.
Yay.
After that, we get another call promo for the call. Whatever.
Don't care.
Raw video from last Monday. Brock's response.
Don't care.
We go backstage with Sheamus and Orton, and then they talk to the Big Show and say, "We found our partner." And the Big Show goes, "Yeah, I know, I'll help you guys." And then Sheamus goes, "No, he's right behind you," and it's Ryback.
Naturally.
Yeah, so...
But this goes nowhere fast,
Swerve.
as we'll find out.
It's a swerve!
Contradiction.
I'll
get into that when we get to Raw.
Yeah, okay, so match number 2. Layla and Caitlyn versus Tamina and Oksana.
Good lord. I'm trying to get some excitement here, people.
I know,
as you can tell by my voice.
Yeah, it's not... This match wasn't all that pretty. I think someone went head first into the turnbuckle. And
nice.
It's like another accident or whatever.
I think there's a reason why we need to send these girls back to the ring. Back to the backstage and teach them how to actually wrestle.
Not gonna happen. So Layla ends up doing the blind tag and wins with her stupid move.
Ooh, bloody Ray.
Yeah. I'm calling it the stupid move because the name of the move is the LOL, the Lots of Layla thing, where she springboards from rope to rope for a splash crossbody. What a maneuver!
What a maneuver.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So it's now the stupid move. Let's see. Backstage, we go. The Bellas confront the Funkadactyls, and then everyone fights.
And I'm supposed to care why?
I don't know. There was some heat a while back ago, actually, with the Bella Twins after they got fired. How they pretty much dissed the Funkadactyls about stealing their moves, their dance moves on stage or whatever, and didn't really go anywhere. So there might be a little bit of heat that they're bringing out now. Whatever, I don't know.
What a waste. I mean, seriously. You're bringing up an angle that didn't work. Meanwhile, we could do something else with somebody else that actually frickin' matters in this show. Not these two bimbos. And yes, I'm going to call them bimbos, because that's what they are.
I would agree with that.
If this makes me sound like an anti-feminist, I'm sorry. But they are not real female protagonists. They're not even real female antagonists. They're not female anything. They are literally just a blow doll.
Okay. Up next, we have another Raw video. Punk and Taker. Once again, I am mentioning each and every one of these because we have to suffer watching these things over and over again, so you're going to suffer along with us.
I'll get to that when I get there.
Match number 3, Kane versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler had a victory over Daniel Bryan on Raw, and now he's taking on Kane, who is emotionally distraught and totally kicks the living hell out of Dolph Ziggler for the first part of the match. And then there's afterwards there's like a lot of interference from the usual suspects, but also from Daniel Bryan, who tries to intervene, gets beat up by Big E. Kane big boots Big E, actually knocks him off his feet, which I think is the first time that's happened so far, or second. I can't remember.
I'd say probably first.
Yeah. And then Big E just staring up at the ceiling lights is like, yeah.
I'd make a joke about that, but not in the mood for it.
Right. Okay. So, Dolph Ziggler ends up winning.
In spite of Big E?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Proving once again that they're useless. You're wasting our time. I'll be saying that a lot. So.
There's a lot of time to waste because we were like 3 weeks away from WrestleMania and fever pitch.
Yeah, but still, there are certain times that I do not like to be wasted, and if you're not wrestling, and if you're not doing your shenanigans bullshit on my wrestling show, take it somewhere else.
However, this does play into Raw, so...
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
At least I could give it a pass for that reason alone.
Right. Big E mows down Kane, proving that he is big and he is strong.
And he is an E.
All right. Next up, we have Zeb Coulter parody. This one is on Borders. And Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez parody the YouTube thing about Canada.
It's not like I've seen this joke before. It's an old joke, but it's pretty much the same thing.
And the most addictive stuff coming from Canada, maple syrup.
I was gonna say syrup.
Yes.
Good lord, they're stealing all their jokes from Mythbusters.
And then we go immediately backstage to Chris Jericho.
My savior of the salvation.
And he's having a big kick from that previous segment because he's from Canada. And then in comes Zeb Coulter and Swagger. And then they call him a dirty Canadian, even though that Chris Jericho was born in New York. And he says that. They are dumbfounded.
Wow, actual person who is both an American and a Canadian citizen?
Yep.
I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, it's not like we know a bunch of people that are that. I mean, that would make Phaelus just outright an idiot.
Wow. Not going to touch that one. So they're going to have a match later. And we're going to get to that momentarily. While we go to your favorite segment, match number 4, Fandango versus Kali.
Mr. Weenie.
Yes, the first time. Kali tries...
Shenanigans again?
Yeah, shenanigans again. Kali tries to dance to Fandango's music and fails at it. However, I must admit that Kali's English is getting a lot better.
True, his English is getting a lot better, but it's Kali. It's the great Kali. He can't do anything except speak and look tall.
I don't know, but I had a kick out of it. Fandango. He gets pissed off and leaves. Non-match starter. Next up.
And wasn't Booker said that he was going to correct him to say that he didn't? If he does this again, he's going to fire his ass.
He didn't necessarily say fire, but he was upset.
I'd figure that he'd say something.
No, he didn't this time. I was expecting something to happen, but it didn't happen.
I mean, consistency. We don't need that.
Nope.
We're a wrestling show.
No, we don't.
It's not like do things every freaking week.
Mm-hmm. Up next, we have a Rock and Cena preview for WrestleMania that we're going to see 50 million times.
I've seen it 20 million.
Backstage interview with Sheamus and Orton. The Shield attack while they are getting interviewed. Sheamus goes flying through the backstage, which was kind of hilarious because there was a curtain and he just disappears into the curtain.
Do not look for the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. And then Sheamus tries to fight back, and then he gets put through the catering table. By God.
What a waste of food.
I don't really think it was much of a waste. I mean, there were a lot of cups and plastic dishes stuff, really. But the table broke, so...
So I guess that's impressive.
Yeah, I like table spots, no matter how,
Sorry, I would be happier with this when I am in a foul mood for Raw.
Okay. Next up, we have the match that I was complaining that it was going to be on TV. Mark Henry versus the Ryback.
Mm-hmm.
They lock up, and then the Shield come out and interfere, and triple powerbomb. Henry attacks several times, and that's the end of that segment. Lots of Shield stuff. Time for the main event. Yeah, going through this really quickly again.
Yeah, thank God for that, because I'll be ranting soon.
Jack Swagger versus Chris Jericho. And in this match, there is a lot of counters, a lot of chain wrestling. I was pleasantly surprised about this match. This was easily match of the night.
Well, no, I'm not surprised. Why? Because it has Jericho in it.
Yeah. And this does prove that Swagger can hang with a technically sound wrestler. With another one.
Never thought anyways that he couldn't.
I mean,
I just say that Jericho can carry anybody. He can polish shit to make it glitter.
That is true, but I feel like this upcoming match, it gives me hope that Alberto Del Rio Jack Swagger match can actually be a good match.
I have no doubt it's going to be a good match. I'm just fearful. I'm just in distaste because of the whole thing.
Mm. I know, but I did have one gripe about this match. There was a spot near the end where Jericho was doing a crossbody thing off the top rope. It's supposed to be a near fall, but the ref clearly counts to 3 because Swagger's shoulders didn't get off the canvas. He does that leg kick out sort of thing instead of moving the shoulder. And you can easily see that the ref counts to 3 on it. So that's going to be on Botchamania.
Wow.
It's like 1, 2, 3, near fall.
I mean, if you lift your legs up, that's fine, right? I mean, it's not like the thing says that you have to have your shoulders down.
Right. So, anyways, after that Grunt Wrench Powerbomb, Swagger wins. And that's the end of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. It was alright. Better than the average SmackDown.
Yeah, it sounds like just about an average SmackDown for me.
Yeah. Now
let's get to Raw.
Monday Night Raw. The show starts out with John Cena. He has a message for Rock fans. Your time is up and our time is now. Even though that his time has been going since 2006.
I guess his time is now again.
Yeah.
It's like a friendship thing. Friendship. Friendship? Again?
Yeah.
That was a Mortal Kombat joke, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm not gonna do the My Little Ponies joke. I'm not in the mood for it.
Okay. Then the primetime players interrupt.
Now this was funny.
With Darren Young and Pancake Patterson.
Pancake Patterson. Obviously Titus O'Neil dressed up.
Mm-hmm. And they awkwardly challenge John Cena to a match, or at least D. Young does. However...
did you feel uncomfortable in this? Or is that just me?
In the match itself or the lead-up?
The lead-up and the match.
The lead-up... I don't know. I was just really sitting there going, really? And then laughing at the fact that Pancake Patterson does his whole wash rag and stuff like that. I like that. But against John Cena, Cena was going like, really? You guys are going to do this? Yeah.
Doesn't say. Stupid idiot. Stupid characters are still stupid. stupid. We gotta interject them in the show somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Since we don't have minions to hatch out, we gotta send out some other people.
So first,
it's the central problem with wrestling.
Yeah. So first match of the night, Darren Young versus John Cena. Where
I wonder what happens.
Cena waits until after the commercial break to squash D. Young.
Ooh, Ray.
Yeah. I mean, he could have just done his 5 moves of doom, be done with it, go to commercial break, but no, he had to go all the way till after commercial break.
You know, an extended match through the commercial break, a good match does not make.
Yeah.
I may say that longer matches are better, but they have to have more than just being long.
Yeah, it's one of those, I guess they had to go to commercial because of wash rag talk. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Next up, we have the Ryback versus David Alis Otunga.
David Otunga, who's coming off of the movie The Call.
Yes.
That nobody knows that he's in.
Yeah. Until later, we get to see him actually in the movie. He plays a cop.
Yeah, I know. I took the look at the Wikipedia page.
Oh.
That's the only way I know.
Oh, okay. So, Ryback wins. He still wants Mark Henry. Mark Henry comes out. He gets stopped immediately by Teddy Long and Vicky Guerrero. And systematically, Vicky takes Ryback out of the 6-man tag match and inserts him into a match against Mark Henry at WrestleMania. Which is what I called.
This was the most clunkiest transition of a match ever. There are 10 times other ways you could have done this.
You could have just not had Smackdown go on the air and would have made more sense.
That, or you could have had Ryback apologize to Orton and Sheamus and say, hey, the Shield may be a problem, but I got one other thing to take care of first. You didn't have to have Vicky Guerrero and Teddy Long there to switch up the matches. This is probably one of the biggest forms of like a Deus Ex Machina that you can think of.
When you're considering that Vicky is involved, it's starting to become a trend. You know? Because there were those 2 incidents with Vince. Now you got this.
This just proves to me that the writers don't know how to set up matches correctly.
Incidentally, they're going through a creative change right now.
Gee, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That also explains the bad taste.
So, we have that going at WrestleMania. Match.
Right.
Okay.
What's next?
Up next, we have Fandango versus Kali again, with Fandango doing a much more elaborate entrance with pyro and a curtain thing.
I could care less.
I actually like the pyro. It reminded me.
I mean, it's a nice entrance,
stuff.
but it may be a nice entrance, but if the guy can't do a fucking thing about it, then he don't deserve it. Like I've said before, you waste my time with your shenanigans. This is a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestle.
Yeah. So there's more shenanigans. Once again, Fandango leaves, and the crowd immediately takes a big old stinking crap on him, and probably the most audible chant of the night, "You can't wrestle."
Also, I'm pretty sure that no one gave a shit during that entire thing. Notice how the crowd was silent. They weren't even booing him.
Yeah.
They did not care about this person. That tells you right there that this angle is dead. This died before it got even born. this is an abortion of an angle and should have stayed in the live pan. Shame that it was.
I know. Even Mordecai got a match. Mordecai got like 3 matches. Remember Mordecai?
No.
Mordecai was supposed to be this white Avenger sort of thing. He was Kevin Thorne before he became Kevin Thorne. He had like it was basically the Undertaker but all white. He had a big old weird cross thing and he put into the ring and he's like, I'm gonna cleanse the WWE of evil. And he was a heel. Through violence and rage. Then he disappeared.
Sounds like a lame ass 90s comic character.
Yeah. Yeah, it was also around the same time when Muhammad Hassan got killed on screen, so, whatever. By The Undertaker.
Stay classy, WWE.
Speaking of Mr. Muhammad Hassan, I almost want to know... I mean, it could be like one night only. What if WWE brought back Muhammad Hassan and Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger came out? Who would the crowd cheer for?
They cheer for me. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because I'll be the one screaming psychically to the WWE universe that you are all a piece of shit.
Well, it was a thought. Next up, we have, R-Truth versus Damien Sandow. In a match where Michael Cole spews current events, R-Truth wins by countout, nobody cares.
This was a waste of a match. Move on.
Mm-hmm. The Undertaker comes out. Undertaker wants the urn. And apparently he has a new power that we're keeping track of. He can summon his name on the title card on command.
Yeah. So what is that? 6 powers now?
Yeah. And growing.
What is he, frickin' Luke Cage?
Yeah. Basically. He says, I'm going to hurt you. You've sealed your fate. He wants the urn back, obviously. And then CM Punk makes...
Just say, dude.
Okay. CM Punk imitates the recently departed Paul Bearer and plays with the urn. He says that he doesn't believe in higher power. He is the higher power. And at the very end, drops the urn. Cusses on TV, too. He's a cusser.
I know what they're going. You might want to stop right here.
Okay.
Casey, because I'm going to be talking for a while.
Okay.
I know what they're going in this angle. I honestly do. It's supposed to be an emotional angle. I get it. But let me tell you something of my personal history recently. Recently, my dad had to go through surgery in late October. He had to get his gallbladder removed. A few weeks after that, I heard about a incident where a colleague of his died because of an infection of the gallbladder. And recently, when I hear about the news of Paul Bearer dying, I checked online to see what he died, see what happened. Guess what it was? A gallbladder infection. Now, I don't know if that's the 100% truth of it all. But I know that it had something to do with his gallbladder. And with this angle, This is just personal to me. It just makes me angry. It makes me angry at CM Punk. Because I know what the dangers are now of somebody I know dying from this problem. And him openly mocking it. And it may say, with all the words of the world, he means no disrespect. He does. To me, he does. So I don't know who's writing this. If CM Punk is writing this. If there's some writer in the background who's getting a morbid fascination out of all this. Let me just tell you right now, whoever you are, that you are scum. And I wish your career to bomb. That's all.
All right.
Now that I got that out of my system, I feel 100% better.
Ah, awesome. So,
let's get on the rest of this show.
Okay, so match number 5, I guess you can call it that. Primo and Epico versus Team Hell No.
They get their asses kicked.
Yeah, AJ skips around. I wonder if I'm back in June again. Because this is exactly what she used to do. Right.
I'm with you on this. They just don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Their creative team is shit.
Yeah. However, it will make sense in a little bit.
In a little bit.
Right. We go backstage with Chris Jericho and I forgot.
Mr. Weenie.
Yeah, Mr. Weenie. That's my memory's terrible today. Mr. Weenie. Mm-hmm. And completely makes fun of his name.
As he damn well should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's basically it.
It was the highlight of the night for me.
Yeah. Then we have a what is it? It's not PSA. It's a
infomercial about how awesome WWE is to charity work.
Yeah, it's another one of those charity work videos. This one's about malaria in Africa. Is basically they're going to add this to the live event thing because before each live event they have like a video package of all the stuff WWE does. Like they show clips of WrestleMania and then they do tribute to the troop scenes and they do.
You gotta imagine that their tax write-off is amazing.
Yeah, and they have to do this because the reason why I hate to bring this up. But there was a memo going around that they were going to do more of these charitable things in the wake of the Sandy shooting. Because they were afraid that they were going to be targeted because they're a soft target to this sort of thing.
I get why they're doing it. I mean, it's an ultra-violent sports-like entertainment thing. I get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
Whoever thought that would be a nice target, fuck you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not
passing out nets and stuff. Next up. Cody Rhodes versus Alberto Del Rio. In, let's see, what's that? Oh yeah, and probably I call it the second best match of the night.
Felt alright to me.
Then
again, after the whole CM Punk thing, I'm so angry I couldn't think straight.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes pretty much beats up Del Rio like he couldn't really get out of the box. Cody Rhodes was very dominant in this match. However, Del Rio has a hard-fought victory, even though it was kind of spoiled twice in the match where Michael Cole goes. We'll get to see how much guts Del Rio has.
That's more wishful hoping on the announcer's part.
I guess, but...
But we also know that it's a squash match, so...
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a squash match. Because Cody Rhodes...
To me, it was a squash match. It was just to show how tough Alberto Del Rio is, and to set things up later.
Okay. I guess you could argue. Yeah. And then afterwards, Jack Swagger attacks, and he breaks Ricardo's ankle.
And I gotta say, Ricardo Rodriguez, that dude sold that break.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling it like he was on the street corner.
Yeah. Half off. Sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, and this brings credibility to the hold. So.
Yeah, this just reminds me of how much, some good side characters can be. That's... the side characters are more interesting sometimes than the main guys.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, I bring this up again. It's like when Kurt Angle first was doing the ankle lock.
Mm-hmm.
He broke Scotty 2 Hotty's ankle. And that really made us like, oh man, this move is really dangerous. Watch out for that Kurt Angle. He drinks a lot of milk and he will break your ankle. Because back then he was still Goofy Kurt 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we have the Hall of Fame induction thing with a well-deserved induction to Booker T.
Yeah, this was necessary because the guy does deserve, with all the work he's done in the past and all the things he's done, yeah, he deserves to be on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's got like 35 championship reigns or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very well deserving. Very nice video package. Congratulations.
I forgot that his hair grew throughout the years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they even showed... They had to cut away from it. The Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you segment thing. When that came on, I was like, what? They're really going to do this?
No, they wouldn't do that.
I know. There is a censored version out in the archives where he says, Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, sucker.
Nice.
Okay. Up next, Sheamus and Orton versus the 3-man band, which they're calling #Celtic Viper, I guess.
Good lord. Who comes up with this retarded stuff?
So, okay. So, 3-man band gets, squashed like normal.
Yeah, normal.
Orton does a jig before doing the RKO.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting silly again. And then the Shield come out, and then Big Show arrives on the scene. And then and the Shield's like, oh, we gotta get out of here. Then they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Big Show points up to the sign and goes, hey.
Why not? We're gonna get we may not be the heroes that they deserve, but we're the heroes that they need.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that line. And that's what I'm calling this angle, the heroes that they need angle.
Fair enough.
Well, if you called the last angle the Super Cena and his Super Friends.
Yeah. Keeping with the superhero.
It seems just logical.
Mm-hmm. It is WrestleMania season. It's time for superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we have a G.I. Joe promo.
Talking about superheroes.
Mm-hmm. And throughout the night, there's more trailers for G.I. Joe during the commercial breaks, and I didn't know much about the movie beforehand.
I knew pretty much the basic premise beforehand because I watched the trailer when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I was so hyped for it for the March thing, and they freaking suspended it for a year.
Yeah, but it's coming out soon.
I hope it does. I hope it didn't get changed much.
Yeah. But I think I am going to go see that one. I also want to see Olympus Has Fallen. That one seems like a good movie too.
I'm thinking it kind of looks like Die Hard in the White House, but
yeah,
you know, I've seen work. You know, you could do stuff like that. I mean, Air Force One worked on the same premise.
Yeah, and it's something that you've seen before, but you like seeing it again.
It could work.
Let's see. Afterwards, let's see. Match whatever. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. And I put on the site here, Cole actually called it the Famouser. It's about time. Let's see. Basically, things to note, Kofi runs into Big E, which just stands there. It's like, oh, what's going on here? Like, hey guys, what's going on?
He acts like the brick wall he is.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler wins, whatever. Team Hell No come out. And then they challenge Dolph Ziggler and Big E. This is the big reveal. Because Big E has been interfering all this time. And he hasn't had an actual match.
So we're actually going to get this guy to actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Final freaking Lee.
And then AJ gets on the mic saying, okay, sure, you can do it, they accept. But you're going to do it for the tag titles at WrestleMania. They go, okay.
They say yes.
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 Yeah, so oddly enough, this is the first time in a very long time that the tag titles have been defended at WrestleMania. Like first time in
and to be fair, it's something that should be.
Yeah. At least 4 years have passed since the last title defense for the tag titles. At least.
How ironic is that the tag team titles is the tag team is just like pushed to the side a lot.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's like the Intercontinental title. That hardly ever gets defended at WrestleMania anymore either.
Meanwhile, the best match that they keep on harping about of all time is the Ricky Steamboat Randy Savage match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's been a lot of good IC title matches at WrestleMania besides that one. Like the Chris Benoit had a couple of good ones.
No, it's still the matter of fact that they keep on harping how great a match for that title is. But they show no respect for that title.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a low card title, and it should be at least good mid card.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, probably my favorite IC title defense at WrestleMania was actually the dual championship defending with Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and Eddie Guerrero for both the European title and the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 2000.
Nice.
Yeah. Basically, the first fall was for the European title, and then the second fall was for the IC title. And Kurt Angle lost them both. Enough nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we go through another Roxino promo. Said it before.
Don't care.
Main event time. Speaking about the IC title, this is the triple threat match with The Miz, Chris Jericho, and Wade Barrett.
Is it just me, or did the ending of this match suck beyond all belief?
I was swerved, actually, for this match. I'll get to that in a second, but I gotta mention that they did do the Tower of Power spot, which is getting two guys going up for a superplex and then some guy going underneath for a powerbomb.
Hey, that's a basic classic.
Yeah, I love that spot. So, the ending of the match, I thought was spoiled to me because I accidentally went on Twitter, and of course I'm on West Coast time, so Raw already happened. And
yeah, that's your problem.
Someone was congratulating The Miz on followers and becoming the new IC champion. So I go, oh great! Now I know that The Miz is going to win. I watched the match. Good match.
Great match.
Miz didn't win.
I didn't like the ending.
Nah, it's like The Miz had Jericho beat, but out comes that sneaky Wade Barrett. He goes and schoolboys.
And schoolboys, and that's it.
1, 2, 3. I mean, there was still a lot of tension throughout the match.
There was tension throughout the match, but that was just the fizzle of an ending.
Well, this is not the end that we're going to see these three go at it. At least, maybe.
You think it's going to be another three-way?
Maybe.
Three-way at WrestleMania?
Hey, it could be. That would be a good match. I would like to see that again.
I can live with that.
Then we have to suffer through another call promo.
Mm-hmm.
They feature some touts from people about the secret stipulation that Paul Heyman has in mind. Someone actually mentions the First Blood match, which I was surprised that someone actually remembered that match.
I love the comment that someone had on that. Yeah, First Blood in PG era.
Yeah. Even at WrestleMania, that would... If this was any time out of the PG era, it would be a First Blood match.
Easily, but this is not that time.
Yeah. So, time for the contract signing. I had a hard time writing notes for this.
And I actually liked this because I was in an incredibly foul mood before. And this somehow made me feel so cathartic.
Oh. Triple H comes out. He goes, okay, let's do this. Paul Heyman comes out with security guards. And he talks a lot about stipulations. And I'm thinking, he hasn't really signed it yet. Don't go into stipulations yet. And the kicker that really makes Triple H flip his cookie, so to speak,
was of course insulting his wife.
Yes. The putting Stephanie on the line, winner takes Stephanie. However, he goes, actually, wait, loser gets Stephanie.
Dude, that's just mean.
I know.
Even for a bad guy. One, you're insulting somebody's wife. Which, fair enough. She is a part of the wrestling world, I'll allow that.
Mm-hmm.
But two, you're involving somebody's wife in a stipulation match that's beyond her control. Once again, we go into seeing that WWE is a very progressive show.
Yeah. Just like that ladder match for custody of Dominic. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio contract ladder match for a kid.
I was wondering if sometimes this series gets too soap opera-y.
The social worker goes, "You people are crazy."
And I'm still surprised. And I'll get into what bothers me the most about this angle a little bit later, but back to the angle.
Yes.
Pretty much Triple H flips his shit, beats up the security guards.
One flees, naturally.
And of course, he beats the shit out of Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was in a crappy mood beforehand. So seeing somebody get the ever-loving shit kicked out of them put me in a decisively good mood.
Not only that... Go ahead.
I am known to be a violent man. I have rage issues. I will admit that. Anybody who's listened to me speak knows that I have rage issues. So seeing this, I may be a bastard for it. But I'm sorry, I was in a crappy mood beforehand. That just made me happy.
Oh yeah, Triple H signs a contract on top of Heyman and makes sure to dot all the I's. He stabs him with the pen. The crowd went insane. It's like, oh! And shoves him off the table. And kicks him out of the ring. Brock Lesnar shows up. And then we finally get to hear what the stupid stipulation is. And I was underwhelmed, of course.
And pretty much the one guy predicted this perfectly. It's going to be a no-holds-barred match.
Out of all the stipulations you have in the rule book, you pick no holds barred.
With Triple H. That seems to be... That's one of his it's one of his heyday things.
Yeah.
But then again, you could argue the same thing for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. It was rumored that they were going to have an MMA-style match.
This would turn into TNA way too quickly.
But that's not all. With that, they also put Triple H's wrestling career on the line. They say career, but it's going to be wrestling career. So
I was going to complain about that. Saying, so what career are you referring to? The wrestling career? Because that's pretty much over with.
Yeah.
He's just coming back every once in a while. It's not like he's actually out there wrestling 24 hours. So it kind of loses its impact like it does with John Cena.
Yeah. Well, with John Cena, that doesn't happen anyway because he gets rehired like 12 hours later.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still had that tension. You could at least have tension with that because he was a constant person who was on the line. Fair enough. With Triple H, dude, he runs the company now. He doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
Yeah, he's done. Even physically, he's done. We all can see that. However,
he doesn't look that bad. I've seen physically done.
I mean,
but he's not.
It's hard.
You mean obviously, yes, like hair wise, he's just. He's reached his prime.
I mean, not only that, not just the hairline thing. I'm also talking, in-ring ability. His match with Kevin Nash.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. That was basically the, he's done match sort of thing.
Yeah, but that was against Kevin Nash, you gotta remember.
Who is also done, but... I don't know. But wrestlers need this to officially retire. that's basically how it goes, because otherwise they'll just keep on going on forever. You know, they need their retirement match.
So you're thinking that Triple H is going to lose to Lesnar?
I think so.
Eh.
Because whenever one of these things happen, they're going to lose. Flair, even though he turned around and wrestled in Australia and in TNA.
We don't talk about that.
Right. Shawn Michaels. He doesn't wrestle anymore, period. He stated several times that he's not going to come back and wrestle.
He's just going to do promos.
Yeah, he can do promos. That's basically what he's going to do. He's not actually going to wrestle in a match because he respects Flair and Undertaker too much to go back on that. Flair, on the other hand, whatever. Triple H is like Shawn Michaels. He's done.
I can't see it, though, with Triple H losing. Because we've already seen that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you're telling me that they're just gonna hire on Brock Lesnar, have the match, and then just drop him again?
Well,
this is the second time this would happen.
Right. I don't know. It's just a thought.
I think it's going to be his retirement match, but he's going to win it. Just to end on a high note.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say, really, because we're still 3 weeks out, basically.
Yeah, we got a while to go.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, we inked more matches for WrestleMania, which is a good thing. We have more titles on the line, which is also a good thing at WrestleMania.
As long as the Divas title stays out of it, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that they don't do that stupid Playboy cover girl match anymore. Because they used to do that all the time with WrestleMania, you know.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Which ironically asks, they're not gonna do that. Is there gonna be a celebrity match?
There hasn't been any talk about celebrity matches yet. The only thing that comes close
is the Rock and Cena thing.
No, Daniel Bryan is talking to some baseball player, I forget who he is, who also has a big beard, and they want to have a beard off. I don't think
That's just lame.
I don't think it's really gonna be a match or anything like that. It might be a backstage segment at most.
Probably.
Yeah. But as far as celebrities go, it's going to be Rock, Cena.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Still like the new title.
Much better than the old title.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. So, SmackDown, Raw. They hyped a match for SmackDown this week. It's going to be a rematch. Jericho Swagger again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah. Should be a good match, as long as they don't screw up another count like they did.
I'll hopefully be in a better mood.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already in a better mood.
Until CM Punk gets on your TV screen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you're going to have some problems with this storyline.
I've already laid down my grievances.
Okay. Let's see if they get worse. Because we got a long ways to go.
I don't know who to blame. That's the most upsetting part of it all.
Yeah. Who knows? But
just if somebody could point me to who is responsible for this,
I could do some digging.
I'll be happy If it is CM Punk, I can outright hate him. Just as a human being, I'll be happy with that. Or if it's somebody else, I'll hate them as a human being as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll cover all the hatred coming along. We embrace the hate toward WrestleMania.
See, this is what happens when I go to the dark side.
On the next Sunset Flip Wrestling podcast.
But we have cookies.